Hi there, and welcome to Walk with Bandana Man. Today's walk is in the central plain of Mallorca. It starts at the small but famous village of Randa. It takes in the sanctuary on the Puig de Randa, which is one of the holy mountains, a hermit's cave and a hermitage, before descending back to Randa and your car. It takes about 2 hours, which gives you plenty of time to look around the 3 pilgrimage sites. This walk does have beautiful views. So, let's get out there. Well, here we are at the car park in Randa. There's a few more cars than I expected, but they could be locals. The weather is a bit cloudy. Temperature's at about 10 degrees. But I think it will shift. Anyway, we'll see on the way up. Let's go. Randa is a small village located in the municipality of Algaida. It lies at an altitude of just under 300 meters and is tucked into the foot of the Puig de Randa, the holy mountain, which at a height of 543 meters is the highest point in the central plain. It has a population of around 120 people, a couple of restaurants, a cafe bar, a church, and an important car park where most of the hikes will start from. Okay, so after a couple of minutes from the car park, the road bends left and we can just go off to the right, up here. On the right here, I think we've got some public clothes washing sinks. What a lovely feature that is. And after about 3 or 4 minutes, you just meet the road again for a little while. So yeah, we're probably on this road for about 5 minutes until we see an earthen car park on the right. So after about 10 minutes walking from the Randa car park, you'll come across this car park on the right. And this is where we can leave the road and join a track over in the left-hand corner. Although it's a good track, I actually believe it's a dried up stream bed. So after about 12 minutes you'll come to this place here. This is where the track that we were on meets this major hairpin bend, and this is where we'll need to go back and join the road for about 100 meters. We have to climb up to this wall here. When you're doing it, please be careful about dislodging stones, and if you do, could you put it back, because it is part of the road structure. About 100 meters after we joined the road on that last hairpin bend, we hit the second hairpin bend and our track goes off left up there. As we're starting to head up this track here, the weather is starting to improve. Must probably be about 12 degrees now, and hopefully the clouds will rise completely. So about 15 minutes into walk, we meet a track junction. Goes up to the right. If you can see on that little sign, it says Cura, which basically is the sanctuary. So that's the shortcut. We're going to carry on around the northeast side of the mountain. If we look left, we'll be able to see the summit of the Witches, Puig de Bruches. After a while you'll come across this gate, just slip to the left of it, carry on up the track. You can tell that we're on the north side of the mountain here. You can see the track is damp and there's moss growing. So that gives us an indication that it very rarely dries out here. Eventually, the path takes a steep right-hander here, and we go up there. Now, I would say, without a doubt, that this is probably the hardest part on this track. It's about 30 meters, it's quite steep, and because of where it's located, it very rarely dries out, so it's very damp, and it's an earthen base. So just try and keep on the bigger rocks if you can. Saves you slipping. Just take care. So after that last little bit, the path eases a bit here, and we will carry on until we come to the next feature. Now again, we'll come to a break in the tree line here. Gives us a chance to take in this beautiful, beautiful view. There's Algaida, that's the town in front of us, and of course the Sierra Tramontana in the background. How wonderful is that? And all the central plain over that way. After 40 minutes of walking, we'll come across this tunnel. I think we can go through this and it'll take us out to the east side of the hill. Let's give it a go. So venturing into the cave a little bit here, there's an opening on the right which we need to go and investigate. Well, it looks like, to me, it's an ammunitions dump where you'd have dynamite, bullets, stuff like that, shells. Okay, just going to get to the end now and see what we've got. I think it'll exit left here, as I say, onto the east side of the hill. Let's have a look. Yeah, looks about right. With just a little way to go to the top, we come across these massive cliffs. Big limestone cliffs. Fantastic. The cliffs are still with us on the right hand side, but they are losing height, so it means that the path must be coming up towards the top of them. After about 50 minutes of walking, we'll reach the road which leads to the Cura, or the sanctuary. And after about 55 minutes of walking, you'll reach the car park of the sanctuary. The sanctuary de Cura is perched on top of the Puig de Randa, which is one of Mallorca's holy mountains. Documented from the 13th century, the Cura was an important religious foundation highly influenced by the Franciscan order, and it is where the theologist, philosopher and poet Ramon Llull resided before deciding to live in a cave below the sanctuary, where he found, so it is written, enlightenment through repeated visions of Christ on the cross. The Cura's chapel still holds Mass every Sunday at 12 p.m, but nowadays the sanctuary also has a 33-roomed hostel, a haute cuisine restaurant, a cafe, a small museum and a picnic area. So after leaving the monastery, I think it's worth going down to the Cova del Ramon Llull and see what we can find there. As you can see, we have no real choice except to go left here, down this track. Yeah, so when we reached the cave, there was a locked gate, and I think what you're supposed to do is ask for the keys up in the Cura reception. I didn't, so this is the nearest that I'm going to get. So I'm actually glad that the excursion was only about 5 minutes from the road. What a disappointment that was. But yeah, if you ask for the key, you could probably go into the cave as well. I don't know. Good luck. So here we are, back on the road that leads out of the car park of the sanctuary. And what do we see straight away? Is this enormous golf ball like radar and all the telecommunications equipment and masts that are around. I can't think of a less fitting place on the whole of the island to put these than here. This is where we popped out onto the road a short while ago. So our aim now is to carry on to this next bend, and just round the next bend we should see a little path shoot off to the right. And after a minute or two, the path hits the road again and we virtually cross straight over. This path now runs down parallel with the road and gradually descends to meet it. Literally 50 meters down the road, you'll see a path leave on the right hand side. It drops down quite steeply to start with, but there is steps. After coming down this track for a few minutes, we hit the road again, right at the top of this hairpin. And what we need to do is go down the road for 5 or 6 minutes, and we will exit on the left to go to the Ermitage. Take a left here, up this minor road, and we're heading for the Hermitage of Saint Honorat. And in a couple of minutes of leaving the main road, the minor road will lead us into the car park of the Ermitage de Saint Honorat. This hermitage, founded in the 14th century by Majorcan priest Saint Honorat, was built to serve as a place of retreat and meditation. It was renovated and extended during the 18th century. It is a place of religious importance, as it is believed that the saint performed some of his miracles here. It is a place of pilgrimage, especially on May the 16th, Saint Honorat's Day. On leaving the Ermitage, you will see some steps on the left of the car park. You need to take them. The steps will lead to a wall that we will follow down until we are close to the second hairpin in the road. A little while after leaving the Ermitage, you will see a track junction that goes through a wall. We need to take that and will finally arrive by the road at a barrier. So, finally after leaving the Ermitage, track leads onto this road. We need to go down the road. Shortly after joining the road and coming down, you'll arrive at this road junction. We need to turn left here between these gates, just for a very short period of time, and then we turn almost immediately right to go up a track. For about 10 meters on passing through the gates, you can come across this little track here leading off to the right. We need to go on this, then when we hit a track junction, we need to turn right. And this track will take us all the way back down to Randa, about 20 minutes. So as I said, we're on the track that leads back to Randa, 20 minutes. This track exits in that car park where you originally picked it up this morning, and I think the bar's open, so I think we'd better go. So, what better sight to greet you is there than that after 2 or 3 hours in the mountains? Absolutely fantastic. Cheers. Although it's not a very long walk, I believe it's a very interesting one. And to be able to see out over virtually the whole of the Central Plain is quite special. It's a very popular walk. Most people walk the road section first and indeed return the same way. Any clear day, the car park will fill up quite quickly, especially as we approach the springtime. If you do decide to do this walk, then take your time, probably a picnic, and enjoy a drink in the bar on your return. And I hope to see you on the next walk.